And I found more than ever, active listening is so vital, because there's patients that I only get to meet one time. Look at that. Look at the geese. Hey guys. Hey guys. It's Tuzee from Tuzeemusic, and today is Tuesday, the second episode. Oh my God. Well, I was going to tell you guys, I am at Victoria Park, downtown Kitchener, our own hometown. As I said, we're exploring Ontario, and this is Victoria Park. Beautiful. Like, talk about nature. It's just right here. Well, in case you missed it last week, the full episode is on my YouTube channel, and you can watch the full episode there. Well, once again, if you need to know what Tuzee Tuesday is, Tuzee Tuesday is a day that we get to have fun, be inspired by each other, learn, like, add a little bit of value to ourselves, and learn to love ourselves more, that we can learn to love, that we can love others. So that's the goal of Tuzee Tuesday. Well, like I said in last week's show, today we are going to be talking about something that is sensitive. It's going to be about us, of course. Sensitive is something that we try to avoid, but sometimes we cannot help it. So guys, I know if you guessed it, cool for you, but this is it. We are attacking today pet peeves. By the way, you like my head tie? I did it myself. Bad hair day, I thought I tied. My mom will be pleased. Okay, anyways, back to our show for today. So pet peeves, we are going to be talking about pet peeves. So, well, before I go on, I just want to stop for a second and talk to you who's watching right now and thinking, I don't have a pet peeve. Well, I just want to let you know that you are either in denial and you need to see a doctor, or better yet, see a psychiatrist, because your brain is playing a trick on you. Or you could just be one of those that don't know what a pet peeve is. And if that's the case, no worries, you're watching the right show, because we're going to attack pet peeves today. And I totally understand what it's like to not understand the meaning of a word. When I first came to Canada, I stayed at my in-laws' house. And every time during the news, my father-in-law, he always said baloney. Whenever the news was on, the reporter was reporting, he would say, that's just baloney. And me being new to Canada, the only thing I knew about baloney was that baloney was a meat that you put on a sandwich. So I just couldn't get the two, like, how does baloney has anything to do with politics? So yeah, of course I know what it is now, but yeah, so I totally understand if you don't understand what pet peeve is. So let's move on to our definition. So I'm going to give you the dictionary version of pet peeves, and then I will give you my version of when I think of pet peeve. So according to the dictionary, pet peeve is something that a particular person finds especially annoying. So I'll say that again. It's something that a particular person finds especially annoying. I absolutely love this definition, because it just sums it up. Pet peeves, long, short form of it, is individualized. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing a couple of my personal pet peeves today. And you will see, it could be, like I said, it is individualized. Maybe these are my pet peeves. They might just be something that doesn't really matter to you. But that's the thing about pet peeves. It is individualized. And guys, I just want you guys to know, I do have my phone in my hand, because my notes are on here, so I will be looking at my phone every so often. I'm not just looking at my phone, just so I can stay on point. And also, I will also be referring to pet peeve as pressure points at times. So if you hear me say pressure points, I'm still talking about pet peeves. So how I define pet peeve or pressure points. So when I think about pet peeve, I was trying to figure out the best way to define it for you guys on this show. And this is what popped in my head. I thought about the movie The Incredibles. Yep, don't judge me. I know, I watch those things too. Anyways, in The Incredible 2, come on, join the show, buddy. You hear that? That's so pretty. My goodness. But anyways, in the movie Incredibles, the second one, Jack, the youngest, the baby of the Incredibles, has a superpower. And his superpower, Jack, he can move from being a very lovely, cuddly baby to being on fire, like literally on fire when he's mad. So when I think of pet peeve, that's what popped to my head. I figured that's the way to describe it for you guys. But here it is. This is my description of pet peeve. So here I am. I'm like, hi, how are you? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God. So it's like a quick flip over from a very quick flip over. So, oh my God, look at this, guys. The swans are here. These are the 2 swans of the Victoria Park. I'm so honored that they decided to be my video. This is so cool. I love this. This is so cool. Well, once again, guys, this is Victoria Park, downtown Kitchener. Nature is right here. You don't have to go away, far away. This is downtown Kitchener, guys. Anyways, moving on to our show. This is so cool. That's what I think of when I think of pet peeves. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing 2 of my pet peeves. But before I go on to share my pet peeves, I want to share a joke with you guys. So this is the joke that I'm going to share with you guys. So I'm just going to pull it up on my phone here for a minute. Yeah, take a look. Take a look at these beautiful creatures. Oh my God. This is actually absolutely amazing to have these guys. Yeah. Anyways, guys, so I am going to share this joke with you guys. So for this joke, I had to pull out here. Here we go. So this joke is about a guy. This man walks into the pharmacy. It was actually a Saturday evening. He walks into the pharmacy with his prescriptions. And there was a guy behind the counter. We're just going to assume it was the pharmacist, just for the sake of the joke. And anyways, he handed his prescription to the pharmacist behind the counter. And when he did that, he said to the pharmacist, he said, when are you guys closed on Sunday? And the pharmacist said to him, we don't close on Sunday. So he was a little surprised by that, but he was relieved too. And he said, you know what, I'll just go and pick up other things and I can come back on Sunday to get my medication and talk to himself. So he left the store, left the pharmacy, came back on Sunday morning to get his medication, only to find the big sign on the board says closed. So he was pretty pissed off, like pretty pissed off and very upset about it. And he's like, that guy lied to me. He told me they were not closed, talking to himself, and he decided, you know what, on Monday I'm going to come back here, and when I'm here on Monday, I will tell him a piece of me. So Monday came, of course, bright and early. He was there, as he said, and when he got there, just happened to be, this guy got there just in time. He was opening the door to the pharmacy, this pharmacist. And he ran up to this pharmacy. He's like, you liar, you told me yesterday that you would be open and you were not open. And he just kept going. And then the pharmacist actually turned around and looked at him. And this was what he said to the guy. He said, well, we in fact did not close yesterday because we never opened. Oh my God. That's a terrible joke, but it is a pet peeve joke, and I can tell you right now, I have a few things I would like to say to that pharmacist, but I'm pretty sure that guy had it covered, so okay. But anyways, guys, pet peeve. So I'm gonna share 2 of my pet peeves. So this is the first one. So my very first pet peeve is, hello, how are you? Okay, let me back up a little bit. So when you say hello, how are you, is it a phrase or is it real? Okay, so in Liberia we say hello, how are you, and people will usually respond, I'm trying. So usually that means they're not on cloud 9, but they're not like terrible either, so they're kind of in between. Here in Canada, you ask people hello, how are you, everyone, like at least 90% of the time, guys, this is, and I stand to be corrected, and I really do stand to be corrected, but 90% of the time that someone has asked me or said hello, how are you, 90% of the time they have not wanted to know how I was. So I'll ask that question again. Hello, how are you? Is it a phrase or is it real? And I will also be posting it at the bottom of this episode. And I want you guys to please answer this question, like be honest with yourself and answer it genuinely. Is it a phrase for you or is it real? Anyway, so moving on to that. So as you know, guys, I am a nurse, and I just want to share this scenario with you about hello, how are you? So this day I went into work and I got a report that one of my patients had a really rough night. So this patient apparently was bleeding profusely, and he had to get transfusions, so an antibiotic, there was an IV, CCRT was called. It was just a really rough night for him. So when I got that report, I was like, yes, I have to see this patient first before I go to anyone else. So I went into this patient's room. Me being the Canadian that I am, I walked in and I said to him, hi, how are you? And he responded, I'm okay. And I literally backed up for a little bit and I said, you have transfusion running, there's an IV going off, you had a CCRT call last night. So I literally, in nursing, we can't just stop at okay. So I had to go in a little deeper, like asking more questions, like what's okay? And then we were able to deep further. I'm just sharing this story to tell you that I don't know what it is. I know whether when someone asks hello, how are you, if people people think it's a phrase, or is it just that people has forgotten how to respond to the question, how are you? So guys, hello, how are you? You know, I was watching just the other day, not watching, but listening to a talk radio, and they were talking about with COVID-19, how we don't hang out very much. We are all like in our little bubbles, so we're not communicating with people as much. So they were telling people how to communication start, because apparently people forgot that. So there was this communication specialist just teaching people, and I was listening to that, and I can't say it enough, but hello, how are you? I think it's a great communication starter. And we already have that. And it is not just a communication starter, it's also a relationship builder. In nursing, it's a great therapeutic relationship builder. But outside of nursing, just with real people, it's a great relationship builder. You can build friendship from there, and you can actually do so much, like even save a life with just asking those questions, like especially be honest about those questions. So so just going on to yeah, like hello, how are you? So as I was saying, it's a great conversation starter. And I just want to share this, like as a nurse as well, I've heard many stories about people who did not jump a bridge, or someone who was going to commit suicide but did not, because someone genuinely asked them the question, hello, how are you? And there's stories upon stories. There's this one that is actually there's this person that was going, they had a thought in their head, and this person passing by them asking, hello, how are you? And he said, you know what, today I'm going to commit suicide. And that person was able to stop that person just because he genuinely asked that question, hello, how are you? And you know, guys, the sad thing about hello, how are you turning into a phrase, like I said, I stand to be corrected. And please be honest with me and answer that question. Is it a phrase for you or is it real? Do you really want to know how a person is when you ask them? The trouble with hello, how are you becoming a phrase is that there's people that actually genuinely wants to know how people are doing. And take for me example, when I ask you how are you, I really want to know how you're doing. Well, just because I ask you how are you doesn't mean I have an hour to hear about your whole life story. No, I may not even have 5 minutes at that time, but asking hello, the how are you, I really want to know how you are doing. And sometimes maybe I might not have that time right now, but we can continue our communication depending on what you have to tell me. So guys, hello, how are you It is definitely a pet peeve of mine. So another piece that I wanted to share with you guys, I was scrolling through my YouTube, and then there was this video that popped up. It's a video about Megan, the Duchess. So there was a reporter talking to her, and while talking to her, he said to her, "How are you?" And her response was, "Thank you so much for asking me that." People want us to know how they are. But of course, if you are genuinely asking, people know if you're just saying it because they said it and you just want to respond. People know if it's a phrase, people know that. But there's people that actually wants to tell you how they are. And guys, look around you. Our world right now is such a darkened place. There's so much hurt that more than ever, hello, how are you? It's such a great communication startup. But not just that, we can learn where our friends are, where that person is, and you can actually save a life by just asking that question. Don't take it lightly, because you might be the only person that asks that person, "How are you?" Okay, so guys, I could talk about this for the whole show, but as I said, I have 2 pet peeves that I want to share with you guys. So I will move on to the next one. So my second pet peeve, I'm just going to go down here to my notes. I do know what it is, but this is my second pet peeve. My second pet peeve is people cutting me off. So cutting people off, let's just say it like that. So I refer to nursing a lot because that's what I know. And that's the cool thing about this show. I want to, even though it's a Tuzee Tuesday, I want it to be interactive. So guys, if you have any other examples that you want to share, please feel free. Send it to me. You can direct message me, or you can put it in the comments as well. But I'm a nurse, so I'm going to stick with nursing examples. So in nursing, there's a lot of things we learn. But one thing we really do learn in nursing is active listening. And I tell you, I'm not joking. I did learn a lot of things for nursing, but active listening is something that I really clinch to. And I consider myself an active listener. So if you don't know what that is, it's when you actually genuinely pay attention to a person and just listen to them. So examples about active listening. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So just going back to like cutting people off, I just want to say it up front, like there's no other way to say it. It's rude to cut a person off. But anyways, going back to active listening, I wanted to share this with you guys. This is from a movie, of course. Yes, I'm telling you guys a lot about myself. I told you guys it's a place where we have fun. You get to know me a little more. So this is from a movie called Hitch. So in this movie, a very funny movie. In this movie, Will Smith is a date doctor, and he's training people going on dates. So this was scenario. There's a scenario in the movie where he's talking to this guy, and he said to him, "When the girl is talking to you, pay attention. Listen to what she's saying. Don't go looking at her mouth and admiring everything else. Because if she asks you, when she stops talking and asks you what you think, you're going to say, well, you got very beautiful lips." Yeah, that's true, guys. We like compliments, but you know what? When if someone asks you, what do you think? They actually want to check if you were actually listening to them. So active listening is a great skill to have in nursing, but it also works amazingly with relationships, with just general. Is a great skill to have. I used to work as a medical nurse, so working on medicine floor with medical patients. But now I work as a floor nurse, and more than ever, I find active listening to be very, very vital. Because as a floor nurse, I get to see a patient today, and I may not see that patient again. So, I can't say, I missed what he was saying yesterday, so I'm going to check in with him tomorrow. No, I might not even go on that floor for the whole month. So active listening is very key as a floor nurse, and for our nurses, but it is also key in building a relationship. So we're still talking about cutting people off. So active listening is great to have. So, of course, there are times that you can cut a person off. I don't know if it's ever going to be like, oh, this is a great time, thank you for cutting me off. But there are scenarios where you can actually cut a person off. Here we go. But remember, always get it in the back of your mind that cutting a person off is rude. And please remember that only do it if it is necessary. And remember, be respectful if you're going to cut a person off. But this is a scenario where you can actually cut someone off. So this person is telling you about an accident, and you were literally at the scene of the accident. You saw everything that happened, and you come to this person and they're telling you something totally different. Yeah, you can totally cut them off and let them know that you were there, but don't just tell them you're lying, I was there. Of course, wait. When they're taking a deep breath, trying to think, then cut in. Make sure your timing is right. That's another great piece with cutting people. You gotta have the right timing, but always remember, be respectful, and don't do it unless it's necessary. So guys, for sure, that is definitely a pet peeve of mine. Those are my two pet peeves that can take me from being the very cuddly Jack Jack to the on fire burning Jack Jack. So guys, you need to know, as much as it is great to understand pet peeves, we need to know our pet peeves. You need to know your pet peeve. It's a great place. But as much as important that it is that you need to know your pet peeve, it's also great to know what calms you down when someone hit that pressure point of yours. What brings you down to normal, like Jack Jack? What causes him to stop being on fire? I think that there is a piece that actually, there's some kind of a bubbly candy thing he got. But anyways, I'm not going to do the whole Incredibles movie right now. But yeah, you need to know what calms you down from that. And this is a sneak peek, guys. That is going to be our show for next week. We're going to be discussing those things that can help us come from burning on fire to coming back to that nice, smiley, cuddly person. So that's next week's show. So yeah, for sure, guys, we have been talking about pet peeve, and of course, this is Tuzee Tuesday, episode 2. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please press that red button. And if you love what you heard here today, please make it interactive. That is the hope of this show, that we are all going to have fun together, inspire each other, learn from each other, like add values for each other, and learn to love ourselves enough that we can love others. So in closing, guys, I just want to say those were my 2 pet peeves. And please, I'm going to put that question on there, like I said from the beginning. Please remember, hello, how are you? If it was a phrase for you, let me just back up with this whole phrase thing. Sometimes you say it and you don't really, maybe you didn't realize that's what you've been doing. If this was a wake-up call for you, great. It's not late, because guys, more than ever, like I said, we need to genuinely ask, hello, how are you, and want to know. And you don't need to have all the time, guys. You can always make time. Like I find in nursing, we can always say, I will get a social worker that can follow up with you. I can do this. And guys, it's the same. If you don't have the time, even though you ask that question, just text. We can text. There is also email we can do, or you can schedule for another time that you can talk to this person. But genuinely ask that question. And remember, do not cut people off unless it's absolutely necessary. Okay, guys, so once again, this is Tuzee from Tuzeemusic, and we have been hanging out downtown Kitchener, Ontario, our own hometown, and it has been absolutely beautiful down here. Well, once again, thanks, guys, for all of your support to Tuzeemusic, and this was Tuzee Tuesday. Bye for now.